Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you, madam. My name is Muhammad Shahrul Afiq. So today, me and my partner Akmal Nabil bin Ahmad Rashdan will be presented our video critics live. So the movies that we choose is Vincenzo. Vincenzo is a Korean drama that just released in 2021, which is this year. So I will go with the synopsis of the video first. At the age of 8, Park Joo-hyung went to Italy after he was adopted. He is now an adult and has the name of Vincenzo Casano. He is a lawyer who works for the mafia as a consigliere. Because of a war between mafia groups, he flees to South Korea to claim a gold stash that is hidden in the basement of a commercial building called as Gyeongga Plaza. In South Korea, he gets involved with lawyer Hong Cha-young. She is the type of attorney who will do anything to win a case. He soon finds himself drawn into a legal battle against a corrupt pharmaceutical company called as Babel Group. He grows a close attorney on the case. So next is synopsis of video excerpt. So the synopsis is the selected scenes depict different critical situations that occur at the workplace between the lawyer. So let's watch the first scene first.
친애하는 이남수 차관님. 그러니까 차관님하고 박대진 장관이 그리고 JT 특검의 김성현 사장 이렇게 셋이서 청담동 스시집에서 밥 한 끼 먹었다. 이렇게 말씀해 주시면 돼요.
Okay, so we just watched the video. So I will go with the description first. So Miss Choi wears a sloppy outfit in the office and scrubs her feet in front of Deputy Minister Lee Nam-soo. So the woman just now is Miss Choi, and this guy that wearing a spectacle named Minister Lee Nam-soo. So the theory that I want to highlight is working manner. I will go to the analysis first. So based on the video, Miss Choi practices an unprofessional attitude and bad manners during working. The way she dresses and acts clearly project that she has a poor self-hygiene. So the effect of her action is Miss Choi's actions make the deputy minister feel uncomfortable to have a conversation. So for the recommendation that I can give it is proper dress and good hygiene practice must be first priority at the workplace because our appearance show our personality. So I will go to the second scene that I choose.
들었나? 돈 샀으니까. 안 돼. 오늘부로 바벨그룹 관련 고소고발 사건에서 손 떼기 받아들이지 않겠습니다. 내 명령 알고 있고 내 명령이야. 그래도 받아들이지 않겠습니다. 뭐 이름이 다 있지. 네가 이 회사 대표야! 근거가 부족한 일방적 명령이라.
Okay, so the description of the video that we just watched just now is Miss Hong, this woman, show an annoyed face and turn her face away from her boss, Miss Choi, during their conversation. She also crossed her leg. She also crossed her leg during the discussion. So the theory that I want to focus in the video just now is body language. In this scene, Miss Hong showed an unrespectful reaction toward her boss by conveying a bad facial expression and bad body posture. So the effect is Miss Choi feel disrespected. Thus, she became angry and raised her voice during the conversation. So, for the recommendation, Miss Hong should portray a professional body language because body language has a great influence on great making a good impression. So, next is scene three.
이탈리아 국제정보청에서 보내는 자료입니다. 보스가 죽은 후 위력 투계자였던 빈센조 가사노가 제1수총 대장이었답니다. 아마도 수총을 피해 한국으로 도망온 것 같습니다.
그 딸랑 마피아 한 명이 한국에 들어온 게 그게 국가 안보랑 뭔 상관일까?
왜 상관이 없습니까? 세계 최악의 범죄 조직이 한국에 진출?
아, 이게 진출이야? 아니 그럼 마피아 2명 오면은 한국 침공이겠네?
만약에 빈센조 가사노가 새로운 조직을 한국에 만든다면
돈이 있어야 만들지. 혼자 도망온 인간이 돈이 있으면 얼마나 있겠냐?
엄청난 비자금을 은닉했을 수도 있습니다.
마피아가 한국에 돈 왜 숨겨? 돈 숨기기 좋은 나라가 쌩거 쌌는데.
일단 작전부터 허가해 주십시오. 진위를 꼭 밝히겠습니다.
작전에 단돈 100원이라도 들여봐. 시분에 월급 10만 원씩 감봉. 알았어, 국장님. 됐고. 야쿠자 대형팀이나 도와줘. 뭐 걔네들 어떻게 빵집에서 뭐 빵칼로 칼빵을 찌. 아니 칼로 빵을 찌. 아이씨. 바람도 안 되네. 나가.
그래도 도저히 마피아인데 대구 갓파더.
야.
이 정도면 충분하다. 조금만 기다려. 빈센조 가사노. 작전은 내 사비로 들어간다.
Okay, so we just finished the video. So the description is Mr. An, this guy, and his boss have an argument on whether Vincenzo has a secret motive on forming a new mafia gang in Korea. Later, his boss tells him not to use the company's money, and Mr. An follow the order and uses his own pocket money to investigate Vincenzo. So the theory that I want to highlight is hierarchical relationship. So the analysis of the video is Mr. An follow his boss order even though he is upset and does not totally agree with his boss' decision. He also sacrificed his own money to proceed the investigation of Vincenzo coming to Korea. So the effect of his action is due to Mr. Arn's loyalty to his boss, the company does not lose lots of money just to investigate Mr. Vincenzo. So for the recommendation that I could give is loyalty among worker to the boss is very important so that the work becomes smoother and productive.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Akmal Nabil bin Ahmad Rashdan. So I'm going to continue with the fourth scene. Let's look at the scene first. Okay, so that's it for fourth scene. The description of the fourth scene is that Miss Hong greets Chairman Zhang, which is the CEO of Babel or a company in this movie, when hit into him. So she also introduces herself and respectfully hears what he is saying. Not only that, she also bows to him and forces her assistant, Mr. Junwoo, to bow with her as a way to respect the chairman. Okay, so this scene shows politeness in the working environment. So the analysis of this scene clearly depicts good greeting technique and politeness applied by Miss Hong to someone higher in position than her as a sign of respect. So the effect of Miss Hong have the politeness towards the one who is higher in the position. The it causes the chairman Jiang felt respected, and this also induced Chairman Jiang to treat Miss Hong nicely. And some of the recommendations that I can say about this scene is that politeness at work portrays good impressions of other colleagues towards us, and it is important to have good relationships with others. Let's move to this fifth scene. Let's look at the scene first. Okay, so that's it for scene number five. So this the description of fifth scene is that Mr. Junwoo, this one, Mr. Junwoo hits his car's front window using a golf stick because he is so angry that his company just lost $760,000 million. So so this scene is showing the personality that in the working environment. So for the analysis, Mr. Junwoo has a bad temper management and aggressive personality after things do not get in his way. So the effect is the brutal and violent behavior displayed by Mr. Junwoo makes his colleagues shocked and terrified. So some of the recommendations that I can say is that good temper management as well as personality are very important traits at work to increase the productivity of the work. So that's why personality is very important, especially uh, good temper management and also have a good personality, because personality also shows good impressions. Let's look at the last scene. Okay, so for the last scene, Mr. Han. Okay, so Mr. Han and Miss Choi meet the judge right before the trial, and Mr. Han offers to repay the judge Hyo and his association properly under the table if they help them to win the trial against Mr. Vincenzo. So what is this scene is talking about? Okay, this scene is showing about the work ethic. So work ethic is very important in the working um, environment. The analysis of this scene, in this scene, it projects a poor work ethic applied by Mr. Han and the judge. This scene clearly reveals the corrupt behavior that usually happens at work nowadays, especially involving those in positions of power. So the effect is the corrupt behavior practiced by the highest positioned people may influence their workers to practice dishonest attitudes at work. Okay, so the effect is the corrupt behavior by the highest positioned people can influence their workers to be also corrupted. My recommendation is that honesty and trustworthiness at work must be enhanced first in ourselves, especially if we are the leaders, so that we can influence others or our workers to be more reliable. So in conclusion, um, so the movie highlight crucial values that need to be applied in our daily life at work. So it includes, just now we are talking about working manners, uh, work ethic, personality, politeness, body language, and also hierarchical relationship. So we also depicts. Okay, so from the theory, we also can depict some of the unprofessional behavior that we need to avoid in the at the workplace. And all these theories play an important key in creating a pleasant working environment and positively affect surrounding people, including ourselves. So that's all we learn from the movie or the series in Netflix. So I recommend Madam Marina to watch this series because it's very good. Not only with the uh, uh, working, sorry, not only with the working theories that is very important to be applied in the working environment, but also the movie itself is very good and many plot twists. So I think it's one of the good movie that we can watch. So we can watch it in Netflix. Madam can watch it in Netflix. So that's it for our presentation today. Thank you, Madam. Hope to see you again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.